Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Practitioner Call. My name is Marci Preble. I'm a Senior Presidential Director with Lifewave, and I am so glad you're here with me today. The Practitioner Call is unique in that we go through more of the technologies that Lifewave creates just for practitioners so they can understand the different tools we have in the box and how it can help their clients. In addition, we normally do a round robin where we have some folks talk about their stories. They tell their stories, whether it's a story of a practitioner in her office or his office, or a story of a client. And then at the end, we usually take about 10 minutes and show practitioners how they can set up their office so that they can get this to their clients. So with that, we'll go ahead and start with the flagship of the line. This is called the X39. This is the stem cell activation patch. And if you're new to the call, I'll give you an idea about how the technology works. This was created by David Schmidt. He's the owner, inventor, and CEO of Lifewave. The company started in 2004, and that's when he started creating the technology, with the X39 coming out in 2018. This technology is a perfect combination of a form of wearable technology, photobiomodulation, light making change in the body. And then the change that it makes in the body is that it activates stem cells. So how does the technology actually work? Well, if you open it up, inside you'll see that this is organic crystal. It's a liquid base. And it's a combination of amino acids, some sugar, some salt, some water, some oxygen, and it's formed a perfect crystal lattice. And that liquid crystal, which is made in his lab, is a perfect reflector of light. You may ask, what type of light? Actually, your light. Your own light radiates off your body. And you know that we do have light coming off of our body, because that is why military buys night goggles, so that they can see the heat signature of people, or I like to say the light coming off of people. So this wearable patch actually reflects back your own light in just the right wavelength of light. David has patents. X39 has a 20-year patent, and every technology he makes actually activates a little different bandwidth of light. And so different light makes change in the body. And once again, a lot of practitioners are using things like laser now, red light, blue light, green light, red light saunas, for example. So more and more people are understanding that light actually makes change in the body. What X39 actually does is it reflects back your own light. And what this does is it actually activates a peptide called GCK copper peptide. And you might want to write that down. GCK copper peptide has a unique ability to call on your stem cells, and they ask your stem cells to activate again, make more of them again, and reset them to a younger, healthier state. Kind of like how we regenerated when we were age 0 to 30. After age 30, our stem cell activity starts going down and down and down. And by age 65, it really doesn't work that well at all. The stem cells are still swimming around in your body. They're just not doing a lot. So what GCK does is kind of interesting. It kind of works to call them up again and actually instructs them to get back to work again. Pretty amazing how our body works. So how does stem cells actually work? Well, a lot of you have probably been doing a lot of research on this lately, because there are many countries now doing stem cell injections, or PRP, or bone marrow. And these are all different forms of ways of harvesting your own stem cells. Of course, in other countries, they're doing cord blood stem cells, which come from the mother's cord blood and placenta after a birth of a baby. Many of us have actually probably paid X amount a month to store cord blood of our own children. So of course, this is just what would go into the garbage. Isn't that weird? Live stem cells going into the garbage if we chose not to store them. But of course, these stem cells, even though they're young and they're still working well, are still not your own DNA. So there's still some risk, not to mention they're very expensive, you know, $10,000 to $20,000 if you go to Europe or Mexico for these shots. And you have something called inflammation in the area where you're getting the injection normally, and inflammation is an eater of stem cells. So that's one of the reasons that they don't always work as well as you hope they would work for the amount of money that you've just spent. So along comes X39, and it literally uses light to activate your own stem cells, This patch is not putting somebody else's DNA in you. This is non-transdermal. This is photobiomodulation. And this is light making change in your body. So totally a new type of technology. So why are stem cells important? Well, let's think about that. When an egg and a sperm meet, what is created? Stem cells. It makes the baby. And the reason it does that is stem cells are the only cells in your body, this is crazy, that can turn into anything. Can you imagine? We're actually so special. God made us so special that there are cells in our body that can change into anything. It's really quite amazing, almost magical, wouldn't you say? So when a baby is being created, stem cells make the head, and then they go and turn into the cells for the lung, and then the heart, and then the liver, and then the connective tissue. And all of a sudden, this beautiful baby miracle is born. And here's what's crazy. The stem cells are so smart that they downregulate. They no longer can create a second head, for example. But you know what they do for that baby from age 0 to age 30? They protect that baby because those cells basically regenerate the baby all the time. 30 years of regeneration. And we know that's true because anybody remember when they were young? Do you remember what your skin looked like? Do you remember what your hair looked like? Do you remember that you had no chronic issues because you were constantly in regeneration? Unfortunately, we were too young to understand how great that was. Someday I wish I could redo that, or maybe we're redoing it now. I don't know. But anyway, that's what was really happening. Constant regeneration, because those stem cells could march in that child's and adolescent's body and turn into whatever it needed to repair. So it was constantly regenerating collagen. It was constantly regenerating connective tissue. Have you ever noticed when a child gets a little stuffy nose that an adult will take 7 days for it to go away, and a child, they just need a little 5-hour nap and it's gone? You know what I mean? That's because they're young and their stem cells are working and regenerating. So what happens if you could regenerate like that again when you're old? That's what X39 is all about. Repair and regeneration back to when we were young again, and getting the stem cell army marching again for that to happen. It's pretty beautiful when you really think about it. So how does the army actually start marching? Well, David says you really need to wear X39 1 month for every decade you are old, because it takes time for the army to march. And also what's going to happen is that stem cell army is really smart, and it's your army, not mine. And it's going to know what you need to have fixed first to live. So you may have a sore knee, a bad shoulder, a lot of different things going on with you. And you want that to be fixed now, because that's what hurts right now. But your stem cells are going to fix first what is really more inflamed. And so if it's your heart or your liver or your kidney or your cardiovascular system, Those all need to function correctly for you to live. And it's going to fix that first. And then it's going to go to something you feel. Our dear friend in Washington was talking about how she had blood flow issues in her leg. And the blood flow is a problem. You know, your cardiovascular system, your blood must flow correctly to live. And hers wasn't flowing right in one of her legs. And so she started wearing X39. And then she hurt herself, and she hurt her neck and her shoulder, and it was painful. And she did not understand why those stem cells weren't fixing that. And then one day she looked down at her leg and she realized her blood flow was corrected. Can you imagine? And then, I don't know, a few weeks later, a month later, her neck popped, and that started to, the pain went away. And so I tell you this story so you understand that your stem cells will fix what you need first. And then it will move to the next thing and to the next thing and to the next thing. And what you think, what your brain thinks you need first is not necessarily what your stem cells think you need first. And I like to kind of say that our body, our stem cells, the system inside that's keeping us alive is really smart. And I sometimes think we forget. I think we think we're smarter than they are. But it's what's inside of us. It's those cells every single day. I mean, when you really think about what our physical body is doing to keep us alive, I mean, we don't even really know what it's doing. We just go live our lives as another little world inside of us is working. It makes me want to cry today, just for us. It loves us so much that it's working to keep us going. Anyway, kind of beautiful. So that's what stem cells are. So how do you wear it? You put it right below the back of your neck or under your belly button. Really, any spot will do, because your whole body's light. There really is only one rule. 12 hours on to activate and repair, and 12 hours off. Let me say that again. 12 hours on to activate and repair, and 12 hours off. Why is that? Well, because this is light. It's a signal base. And if you keep the signal going 24 hours over and over again, your body gets used to the signal and it doesn't work so well. So 12 hours on and 12 hours off. And you can wear it all day. So from 7 a.m. and take it off at 7 p.m. or all night, put it on at 7 p.m. and take it off at 7 a.m. Or you'll learn about a few of our other technologies. So maybe you want to wear some during the day and some during the night. You can choose to do that. So this is the X39. This is the stem cell activation patch. And if you're new today and you have a sample, or if you bought some already, just put it on right now. You got nothing to lose because it works so great. So my story is about 4 years ago. I had fast growing cells, and I had a year of treatment. And then 6 months later, I was one of the unlucky ones where it decided to come right back in the skin of my right breast. I have a double mastectomy, so that's really not supposed to happen. There is no breast tissue left. So it decided to go for the skin. And I was super depressed. I couldn't believe after a year of treatment, I still had a problem, a chronic age-related problem. And so my friend, Dr. Rhonda Donahue, came to my door with 10 of these, and she explained to me what I just explained to you. And that's where I've learned about this. And also from listening to David Schmidt's trainings, right? Oh, and Dr. Patty de Blasio's training. You can find a lot of her trainings in the practitioner group. And I don't know, Heidi, or Kathy, if somebody could put our Telegram link, you can put that there from our startx39biz.com. I think it's called Evolve Connect. And you can just copy that link and put that right in the chat. And that link allows you to get to all of our Telegram groups. We have one Telegram group called the Practitioner Group. And that group is really great if you want to listen to some of what the doctors have been saying about our Lifewave products. So anyway, so there is the X39. And so the other thing that Oh, and so she told me, and she's a PhD in nutrition, and she also, what did I want to say about that? She also, PhD in nutrition. So she has 2 clinics, one in Orange County and one in the desert. And so she knows a lot about what's going on with this. So here is what she said. And here is what she said. She basically said to me that this patch is going to activate your stem cells to work like you're young again. And so that was awesome. And so when I put the patch on, she gave me 10 of them. I put them right below the back of my neck. And the very first day, the first 2 days, the taste of chemo metal came pouring out of my mouth. By day 5, my skin got super soft from my forefinger, like right here between my 2 fingers. And by day 10, I just felt young again. I just had like the passion of a young person. I told that to Jan Rand and she said, oh, that's just BS. But you know what? It wasn't. And I just wanted to live again. And, you know, it's amazing when you mentally and physically feel good again, even if you're dealing with some chronic age-related issue, you feel good again. And your body says, hey, I feel good again. And all of a sudden you just start repairing. Isn't that magical? I realized for my own self, it started here. And my brain told the rest of my body I was okay. It was so weird. And for the longest time, my brain told the rest of my body I wasn't okay. And my body was going for it. You're right. You ain't okay. And so anyway, I've been in remission again for 2.5 years. And I'm really, really, really excited about that. And my assistant just brought me the nicest tea, which is awesome. So isn't it fun to live your life in joy? I thought so too. So now let's go ahead and talk about a couple of the other technologies that you know are my favorites that go with the X39. The first is EON. Of course, EON activates a peptide. So this is a different wavelength of light, and it activates a peptide that actually reduces inflammation. And remember how I told you that inflammation is an eater of stem cells? So when you reduce inflammation, you turbocharge your X39 to work better. So when you wear X39 and EON together or put it on your clients together, you're not only activating the stem cells with light, you're reducing inflammation. Remember how some of the problems with those $10,000 stem cells injections are the inflammation issues, because inflammation is like a little Pac-Man that eats stem cells. So David is so smart. He's figured out how to activate stem cells and reduce the bandit, so to speak, that wants to eat them up. And so that's why when you wear these two together, the actual repair is really faster and it's so much more demonstrative. People do better. So you may say, well, where do you put those? Well, you can put both of them right below the back of the neck. Once again, any spot will do. Your whole body's light. And here's the thing, because it's light, your body knows how to work perfectly with light. You do not have dosing issues because guess what? Your body and light talk to each other just like GHK talks to your stem cells. Isn't that amazing? Like I said, God's pretty cool, right? So anyway, so you put that right below the back of the neck and they can touch each other. They can kiss. You can put one on top of each other. Once again, they're light. It just moves through. It's fast. It's just light. So that is how they work. And then I'm just going to put one on the back of my neck because you know what? I didn't wear these last night, so I'm ready for my patch. So anybody who hasn't patched yet, why don't you patch with me? Because that's fun. And my assistant wants to patch with me. So she's the first one that's doing it. So here we go. All right. So Icewave. Icewave is a 2-patch system. There goes Heidi. Heidi's patching. I love it. You know, the best part about this business is we're community-based. And we're experiential. So this product is very experiential and we experience it together and we just tell stories and we let the patch do the work and we just get patches on people's bodies. So if you like that, this is a business for you. All right. So Icewave. Icewave is a 2-patch system. The brown patch goes on the pain spot. The white patch goes about 3 inches away. This is a negative and a positive charge. It charges out pain, much like, have you ever had your battery go out and you need to charge it? And the negative charge and the positive charge charges your battery. Same thing, this charges out your pain in the tissue, breaks the connection of pain in the tissue. Once again, I think it's really important that everybody on this call understands, and I'm going to say it one more time. These are all non-transdermal patches. Nothing, this is not like a nicotine patch, right? It's not like one of those hormone patches that are throwing substances in you. This is non-transdermal. This is using light. So X39 activates your own stem cells. It's not putting stem cells in you. Eon is reducing inflammation through light. This is not like putting ibuprofen in you. You guys understand that? It's not like putting an anti-inflammatory in you. Icewave is breaking the connection of pain, or breaking the connection of pain in your tissues through light. This does not have pain meds in it. Okay, this is all non-transdermal. We are a general wellness product, and we work through light. We're very different from what you have heard about before in other product lines. You know, we're not a pill, we're not a potion, we're not a juice, we're not whole food, we're not organic food, although all organic food I love, juice I love, but fresh squeezed wheatgrass juice, let me tell you. But this is light, which is a whole different modality. Okay, so let's just show you how you would do this. Let's say your client has a sore shoulder. You would say, where do you hurt the most? And if it's right here, you would pop the spot with the Icewave brown. And then you would say, where does it radiate to? Oh, it radiates down to here. I like to say, bookend the pain. And then I say to them, what level is your pain? Most people's pain is anywhere from a 6 to a 10. I do patching parties. I don't know what's happened, but I do like twice a week now. And I ask people, where's your pain? What's your pain level? 50% of the people raise their hand. It blows me away. And they're anywhere from like 6 to 10 in pain. So anybody that has a pain of at least 6 to 7 and above, what do you need to do? You need to patch the spot with a lot. What do I mean by a lot? They need more than one Icewave if they got that kind of pain. So you really do need to ask, and you need to take care of the pain. So what would I do if that was the case? I would just do another set of Icewave, and I would just do it in the same general idea. There, right there, I got 2 browns next to each other, and I got another white down here. And if you really wanted to pop the spot with a lot, you could even put the X39 and the Eon right in the general area. You don't have to put the X39 and the Eon right below the back of the neck. You can pop the spot that has the issue. And I find that to work very well. So where are most people's pain? Right? Their neck, their shoulder, their knee, their lower back, or they have colon spasms. That's where most people have pain. So if you got a bad knee, pop the spot with a lot. 2 Icewaves, the X39 and the Eon. By 2 Icewaves, 2 sets, so it'd be 4. Or the back of the neck, 2 sets of Icewaves and X39 and Eon. The knee, 2 sets of Icewave and X39 and an Eon. The lower back, 2 sets of Icewaves, X39 and an Eon. The colon, 2 sets of Icewaves and X39 and an Eon. And how do I know this works? Because I've been practicing on myself. Practitioners, get it? Practicing, practice medicine. That's what a practitioner is. We practice medicine. I practice on myself. And after chemo, I have colon spasms so bad that I cry at night. And I was just putting 1 Icewave on there. And it wasn't enough. And I thought, I literally said to myself, Icewave doesn't work on me. And I don't know, I got a thought. Sometimes do you guys know, like you're just kind of sitting in your chair and you're a little bit just in a calm, peaceful place, and thoughts come in that are peaceful. A thought said to me, try 2. I'm like, oh. And I put 2 sets of ice waves, X39 and an Eon, right on the spot. It's right under my rib cage that spasms out. It stopped. I fell asleep. I woke up the next day with no pain. Oh, and I sometimes wear my patches at night. So I rotate. So, most people wear their X39 and Eon during the day. That's great. Sometimes I'll wear all my sets at night because my colon spasms at night, not during the day. And so that's why sometimes I switch myself to night wear. And here's the thing. You get to choose. It's your body. Figure out what patches you like and what time you like to wear them. Every patch has its own 12-hour clock. So you can wear some during the day and some at night. So those are our first 3 technologies that I wanted to talk about today. So I would love to hear a few other people's stories. This is our round robin. If you would like to unmute yourself, anyone could tell me their story. Let's have some story time. I would love to know what your story is. Sherri, are you going to tell us your story?
Yes, thank you, Marci. I had a very severe traumatic brain injury 3 years ago, and have done a lot of chiropractic, etc. But I have left over from that headaches and neck aches, and I got one a little while ago. So I took my X39 off the back of my neck, put it right on my forehead, and literally within minutes, gone. I don't know why it works so fast, but wow, instant relief. And it was one of my customers who said that's what she was doing. And I went, really? On your forehead? Gets rid of your headaches? She said, yeah, try it. So, and then a little bit later, I'll take it off and put it back on the back of my neck, and the headache won't come back.
Well, I just got chills. That is you saying, in your body talking to each other, and a friend giving you a good idea, like, it's okay. Hey, if I hurt here, I'm going to put it here for a moment. I love that. It's cute, Sherri, because my friend Claudia and I were working in Las Vegas. We did a little show, and there was a woman in the booth, and I bought the cutest. I bought this from her. A cute little bracelet. She was so sweet. And I said to her, this is X39. And I explained what it was. And I said, would you like one? She goes, I would love one. And then I said, well, what's going on with you? Do you have, what's really happening? Do you have any pain? What's interesting? We forget to ask people, maybe practitioners don't forget, but I forget to ask people what's going on with them and if they have pain. And at this was a new technology for wellness expo that we were working. We bought it. We had a booth there. And I told myself, I'm going to just ask everybody I see if they have pain and where it is. I just told myself I was going to really try to do that. And so after I told her about X39, I said, what's really going on with you? Do you have pain? And she looked at me and she goes, do you really want to know? And I said, I really want to know. She goes, I have the worst ear infection. I have the worst headache. I'm at this booth and I hurt so bad. I said, oh my gosh, well, you need X39 for your stem cell, Eon for inflammation to drain the infection. I said, of course, ice wave, because you got the worst pain right now. And you need a glutathione, because glutathione is your master antioxidant and your master detoxification pathway. And glutathione pulls out things like fungus, mold, bacteria, virus, parasites, everything, that was, most likely the infection was most likely symptoms of bacteria or viral, of course, right? So I said to her, would you like me to pop the spot of your issue all around your ear right now? And I honestly thought she would say no, because it's during the day. She's at a booth. She goes, yeah, please. And so what did I do? I said, well, where do you hurt the most? And she goes, oh God, right here. And I put the ice wave and I go, does it radiate down or up? She said down. So I put another one here. And then I did an Eon and an X39 and a Glutathione. I just popped her whole ear. She had long hair. So then I took her hair and I did this so nobody would see. I go, okay, you're fixed. She goes, kind of didn't know exactly what I just did, said, thank you. The next day, she comes running over to our table. She goes, I got to buy that stuff. I got to buy that stuff. I go, why? She goes, my ear drained all last night. I feel so good today. I really made a difference. Just like, you know what I mean? Like I asked what was going on with her. I listened to her. I then found the right technologies to help her, and I put it in a spot that would help her instantly. And that's what you did with your headache.
Right. Well, what's interesting is that about a few weeks ago, I realized I had an inner ear infection, only it was a double inner ear infection. Oh. And, you know, when you get to be 80, you pay more attention, perhaps, to your body, I guess. I don't know. That's my experience. At any rate, so I took a glutathione and put it in that little pocket behind the ear, you know, between your jawbone and your skull. And I put it right there on both of them. And the next day I was better. And 2 more days, I did it for 3 days. And the 4th day, it was gone. Wow. And how did I know I had an inner infection? My balance was totally off. Mm-hmm. And I have no problem with that, but boy, I was having a real problem staying upright. Put that on, 1 on each ear, done, 3 days.
That's amazing. Sherri, thank you for telling your story. You know, what I find is stories really matter, because we can talk about the technology all day long, but without the stories to give examples of what's really happening to people with the technology, it doesn't always resonate. And so the stories matter so much. So Sherri, thank you for telling your story. Do we have someone else that would like to unmute themselves? Heidi, go ahead.
Marci,
tell your story.
So I live in Nevada and I hike a lot, and I have a very athletic dog. And when my mom passed away, I was in Arizona at 113 temperatures. So the only place to go exercise my dog was a dog park at 5:36 in the morning. So I did this repetitive chuck it motion. Does everybody know what a chuck it is? It's a long stick with the ball. And my shoulder was so agitated. And I never get to use the ice wave because I don't live in a lot of, discomfort. I've been patching for over 3 years. So I thought, ice wave, I'm going to try it. I'll be darned, it worked. So it's nice to revalidate or validate that something does work when you carry it around in your little bag for a long time, but you don't ever get to use it. So I was pretty excited about that. Just wanted to share.
That, and I always call ice wave kind of like the, what do I want to say? Like it's kind of the pain Band-Aid, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, you might not have pain today, but it's nice to have it with you in case something happens.
Yeah,
right?
It's nice to have it in your little patch medicine cabinet.
It is.
Your non-invasive light therapy medicine cabinet. So
I love that. Well, Heidi, thank you for sharing how ice wave helped that little problem there. I'm sure your dog is very happy that you can continue.
He's happy to be back in Nevada. He's been swimming in Lake Tahoe, and we're back to hiking. So hopefully my shoulder will get a very much needed rest. And I'm patched up. So
wonderful.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have a story that they would like? Anne, go ahead, Anne. And just a minute, Jill, you'll be next. Anne, yes.
Hi. I just wanted to tell the story of can you guys hear me okay? I feel like I'm echoing.
No, we can hear you perfect.
Okay. Anyway, when I first started patching, I didn't really feel a lot of change in the first couple of months. And I'd had a really bad fall on some ice up in the Adirondack Mountains during the winter time. And my hip was really painful, and it had been painful for quite a long time. And I kept thinking, oh my gosh, why aren't these patches fixing my hip? Anyway, I had to switch them around. I suddenly, instead of following the rule, following exactly what the protocol was, I took the X39 and I stuck it on my tailbone. And then because I knew that there was this concept of ice wave, I hadn't really used the ice wave that enough to get a lot of confidence in how to use it, but I understood the double, like the pairing of the Icewave. And so I paired my X39 with Eon, and I stuck Eon on the part of my hip that was hurting, and the X39 on my tailbone. And literally within 30 seconds, my pain was gone. And it shocked me. I was like, oh my gosh, it actually worked. Anyway, I just wanted to say that because it's been about a year and a half now that I've been using the patches, and they keep surprising me. But that was the very first surprise that I ever had with them, where my faith system got a real boost. It just really got switched up. So
well, it's
yeah.
interesting because lower body pain a lot of times can be, according to Dr. Nicholas, he's a chiropractor in Arizona, can be, nerve related. And he says to really get at lower body nerve pain, it's through the L5. Did I say that right? It's right there at the oh gosh, what is that? Right, right above the butt crack. I'm just saying there's a better word for that. I can't remember the word.
Is it
Okay.
the lumbar?
Thank you, Heidi. There's the doctor word. The sacrum. And when you put Icewave X39 and Eon right there, it like grabs the nerve, and it can get your whole lower body out of nerve pain. And the place for upper body nerve pain is at the, help me out, C7. Did I do that right? Right at the neck. And so whenever someone says they have, so many people have lower back pain, I just get it right in the sacrum. Thank you, Heidi. There's a good word, right in the sacrum. When they have like neck pain, I get it right in the nodular at the lower neck, that C7. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google L5 and C7, and then you'll know where to pop the spot for nerve pain, lower nerve pain and upper nerve pain. So thank you, Anne, for sharing your story. Does anybody else have a story? Anybody else? Oh, go ahead, Jill. Let's hear your story.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I have 1,000, so I have to just tell a couple. But my very first, Marci, was the day one of putting just an X39 on my C7. And I had a dive. I was doing a dive rescue, and I stepped in a hole and messed up my hip on my right side so bad that I was limping and in a lot of pain during COVID. And so the X39 on the back of my neck made me feel like someone put Dove chocolate down my whole body, and I had zero pain. And it got so I'm that's 10 to 20 minutes. I'm that one patch wonder on that. Mm-hmm. But God does that to me because it gets my attention, and then I jumped in. But my plot really thickens because I thought I could really get my cartilage back. And I really, really went through a lot. And you saw me down to a cane, but I actually am one of those people who had my bone marrow drawn during 2.5 years of X39. I had 3 times more stem cells than anyone the company had seen. And they came in the room saying, "Who are you?" So 3 times more PRP, 3 times more stem cells, and some red blood cells and some extra vials. They just went, what in the world? I'm 64 years old, and now it's been over 3.5 years, but my accelerated healing on my hip, because I did have to have surgery. I wasn't supposed to be running in 1 week, but I could run in 1 week. I lost the walker in 5 days in my house. I was able to, once I was supposed to walk out the door legally by my surgeon in 1 week, where I wasn't able to walk upstairs for like a year, I went to Trader Joe's and just walked up. I went scuba diving in 13 weeks after my surgery. I did 25 dives in that week. I can go on about accelerated healing after being on for that amount of time, as well as, all the parties I'm doing where I'm helping other people to patch the spot of pain. But my personal story of accelerated healing, I'm my biggest miracle. And like today, I had patched somebody and he said, well, I'm really amazing. So, like I really didn't feel a difference. And I said, but you didn't look at the science. And he goes, no, I really didn't. I said, if you saw what this patch is doing for your body, you would never take it off. So
Wow.
you didn't look at the science. And he looked at me and he goes, oh, maybe I better. I said, you better look at the science. I'm not going to tell it to you. So anyway, that's just a little crux. And I want to do a podcast, Marci.
Perfect. Well, Jill, thank you for sharing. It's wonderful that you're off the cane now. And we're going to go real quick. I think, Cindy, we're going to just have 2 more stories. Cindy, did you want to tell your story?
Oh, yeah. So I've only been doing patches for a short time. I'm like the other gal that mentioned, I'm a TBI, traumatic brain injury, recovering patient. And anyway, I've been having brain fires at night when I sleep. So I've not been able to sleep longer than 2 or 3 hours at a time. And since doing the spots, I'm up to 7 hours of sleep a night now.
Wow.
And I'm not being woken up at, after 2 hours. And I would be awake for 2 or 3 hours because my brain just wouldn't shut off. So I've noticed that. So just been a short time, but that's huge for me to sleep, and to sleep well is just huge. So thank you.
Wow, what a story. When you can't sleep, you can't repair. So I can't even imagine not to only be able to, that your brain hurts so bad, you're up in 2 or 3 hours and now you get to sleep for 7. That's a big deal. Debbie, why don't you finish with our last story? Thank you, Cindy. Are you there, Debbie? You can go ahead and unmute yourself, honey.
Yes, I am. I don't really want to be on screen, but I figure I might have to in order to speak. But I have a girlfriend that has been doing X39 since I think March or something. She had a brain tumor on her brainstem. I don't know. Is that how I say it? On her brainstem, she had a tumor. She had her whole head. She's the same age as me, 68, and she had her whole head cut open. And then she lost this whole side of her face. The feeling went down. Her eyes stayed open the whole time. Her arm was hurting. It just was this whole side it affected. And her hearing went. Well, since X39 and Eon, hearing has come back. She went and did an eye test. She was having to wear a patch over this eye because it would stay open, and she had to put drops in. The lid is now closing. When she went to go do the eye test, because her eye was blurry, she can read the top 3 lines. She is my miracle baby, I call her. And then her arm, I tell her, she watches you. She says she pops the spot with on the top of the shoulder to the elbow. She can sleep at night because her arm would keep her awake. So many things for her. And I said, Debbie, would you sometime come on for us? And she goes, when I feel better, because she doesn't feel completely like she used to be. Her hair has grown back. So many things for her. And I just said, I'm just going to tell her story a little bit.
Well, Debbie, thank you for telling her story. It's like I said, this is my favorite part, when we just go around and actually talk about stories. So thank you for sharing. So let's go ahead and just show the practitioners that are on the call where you can go do your own research. So what you would want to do is you'd want to go to a website. You might want to write this down. It's called startx39now.com. startx39now.com. And I'm going to take you there right now and show you some things that you may want to look at today to learn more about this. And what you probably want to do is just, once again, go to this site, startx39now.com, and just take a look at the first video on how phototherapy works. It's just 2 minutes, but it will give you an idea of how this photobiomodulation, light making change in the body, what's really happening here. Then go down to see how X39 actually activates stem cells. Then you just may want to look at some pictures, because I always say a picture tells 1,000 words. That's me when I had the second reoccurrence of fast growing cells. And then you can just see how everything kept getting better, and you can really see it in the skin. This one is wild. This gentleman, you can see he's bald, he's gray. Look at his eyebrow. Look at his hair now. It's filling in, it's getting black, but look at his eyebrow. Look at how it's turning black again. That would be regeneration. This little finger, this little boy's finger got cut off. They sewed it back on, but it died. And then it came back. This is C7. This is upper body nerve. This is a very pinched nerve. In 1 year, you can see how it's flowing again. That doesn't even look like the same woman. In 1 year, look at her skin. That looks like mother and daughter. Here's another mother-daughter picture. Look at her, the spots on her skin, and look at what her skin looks like now. Okay, ladies, who wants turkey neck? Look at those crepes. Crepes gone. I had a dentist look at this. She goes, that is not the same woman. I said, it is. She goes, look at the décolleté. Look at the difference. I said, I know. This is a curvy back. Look at how it's straightening. This was heart surgery, open heart surgery. Look at that scar. This was a year later. It's still very deep. This is a month after X39. This is glutathione. This is what it does on bacteria. Look at his face. Look at it now. He's so cleared up. Bye-bye. You can also put it on your pets. Look at his eye. Look at his eye now. So you might want to just go look at some of these pictures. And then if you like everything you see there, watch David Schmidt's 18-minute video on X39. It's exactly how the technology works and the issues it helps with. And then you can go and look at the patents and clinicals. This is the patent on X39. It says that it activates stem cells. You can see right there, activation of stem cells on the patent. I'll just read it to you. Activate stem cells, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, pain relief via non-transdermal container, which increases GCK copper peptide. So right there is the patent on the technology. I think that's pretty amazing. And then the clinical studies. And the highlights are here, or you can look at the exact studies right here. And on X39, you can see the study on how it works for college athletes, how it increases GCK copper peptide. There's another study here on hold on, give me a minute. There's a brain mapping study, shows what it does to the brain. There's also the pilot test, what it does to the cardiovascular system. Once again, you can read the top of the study and go to the conclusion and read the last paragraph to get an idea of what's happening here. And then you can read all the documentations. But on the pilot study, for example, it says that in 6 weeks of X39, the cardiovascular system increased by 8 weeks. The brain study shows that the brain actually rebalances in about 6 weeks. So it's some pretty amazing things there, and you can read that for yourself. You can also go and see what GCK copper peptide is all about. And you can go right here, and you can actually just click on the tab of GCK copper peptide. And it's pretty amazing what it does for skin and hair. You can look and see what it does for fast growing issues. You can see that it is the #1 compound for fast growing cells of this particular kind. You can also see that it resets 84 genes to inhibit fast growing cells. I mean, you can read for yourself what it's saying here. It's pretty amazing. Lung protection, read for yourself what it does for chronic obstruction. You can see what it does for increasing SOD, which is your antioxidant ability for fighting those free radicals. You can see what it does for brain and nerve. And you can really see what it does. Here's for stem cells, how it activates. This is how it activates your stem cells to regenerate again. And what it does for your stomach lining and your connective tissue and for scarring. I mean, it's all right here. It's really pretty amazing. And then you can go down and you can actually watch some videos, what doctors are saying about it. You could come here and you can come to our patching podcast. They are 5 days a week, and you can go right here and you can see what the schedule is right here. Somehow I lost it, sorry. There's a lot here, as you can see. You'll like this as a practitioner video number 4. You can actually see what David says about the how the research works, about the research to health practitioners. And you can also download the all products sheet. So this will show you what all of our products do and suggested patch placements. Once again, your whole body's light and any spot will do. But if you also want to listen to what David says about every product line, this is a 10-minute video on all the products, and then you can go listen to 1 hour on every product. I know many of you doctors will want to educate yourself more, and this is where you would do it. And so just quickly, I'll just quickly go through a few of the other technologies just to give you a sampling of what some of the other technologies do as well. And I just have to get back there. Sorry. Let me get back there. Okay. Right here. So we already talked about X39 Eon and IceWave. X39 actually activates stamina, strength, and lean muscle mass. It also builds testosterone in men. It helps to regulate blood pressure, and it's very protective of the brain and the heart. This is our performance patch, and so athletes love X39 and X49 together. Alavita is our skin patch. You put it between your eyebrows, and it builds collagen. It's the reason us women have really glowy faces and we don't have turkey necks. We wear that with X39, and we have tight chins now. Glutathione, I talked to you about. It is the polar outer of all yuck, fungus, mold, virus, bacteria, toxins, metals. It's very powerful. Carnosine is the protector of all your organs, your heart, your brain, your lungs, your pancreas, your eyes, your kidneys. It also protects your telomeres. Energy was the very first patch he made. It converts fat into energy, and it literally is the igniter of the mitochondria in your body. So it will give you energy without, it's not like caffeine. There is no crash. It is sustained energy. Silent night actually first turns into serotonin, which is the calming neurotransmitter in the brain, and then melatonin, which puts you to sleep. SP6 actually controls sugars. It's great for the pancreas. So if you have sugar issues or pancreas issues, that would be SP6. It's great for digestion and hormone support. If you're looking for a weight loss combination, that would be SP6 and energy and X39. They work really good for weight loss. AccuLife is for animals. It's IceWave for animals, pain relief for animals. And then our aromatherapy mist, we have the Shine and the Dream. Shine is energy, Dream is sleep, and you spray it on your hand and you inhale it. It's olfactory. So you breathe it in, and it also increases testosterone and oxytocin, which is great for tissue repair. So that is how the products work. And then I'm just going to take you to startx39biz.com. And I'll show you a couple things you could order to set up your office so you could get this for your clients. So you're going to have a replicating site, and you actually can ship product to your clients, and the company pays you a thank you check. If you don't know what your replicating website is or how to use it, Jan Rand, could you put your name and number in chat? You can call Jan. She helps us a lot with the details of our business. So that's Jan Rand. And then you can also go to Evolve System, and you might want to just go to our tab number 5, and it's print your follow-up clipboard. This is great to have in your office. Print up a clipboard for your office. And here, this is our sharing envelope, and it talks about X39, and you can just have a copy to read to your clients. Also, this is our what to expect document. And you can expect to reset 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. It's great to have this printed out to read to your clients. Also, the before and after tracker, you're going to very much like this, and you can tell picture stories, and your clients will like this. And you can also help to track with them their particular issues and how they're getting better. The all products flyer, this is what I just showed you, and you could print this out and have it for your office. You may also want to just laminate them, so you have a set. And then you want to have your order form, and you want to tell your clients it's $149 retail, $119 to be a preferred customer. The wholesale packs are the best deals at $299. That's 3 X39s. $499 is the gold pack, double the inventory. That's 5 X39s and 1 support sleeve. The platinum and the diamond are the bigger packs that business builders would want, or if you are a practitioner, you might need enough for your office. And then most people just do 1 X39 the following month for $99. The great part is in the little yellow football, where 1 X39, 1 X49 equals 2 of any support sleeves. So you can build the kit. So someone that has a lot of pain, you might want to do, for example, 1 X39, 2 Eon, and 2 Icewave. That's 5 sleeves for $299. And 1 X39 the following month to keep their stem cells activated. Then you take your client's information, their name, their credit card, all of that, and now you have an order. Once you take an order, you might need to call Jan and ask her how to put that order in the system, and that's okay. You could ask Jan how to do that. You can also use the paper order form and the all products flyer to help mix and match a kit. Or you could download the customized form, which gives you different packs, the silver and the gold, and that might be a better, easier way. You know, here's the pain and relief and youth renewal, 1 X39, 2 Eon, and 2 Icewave. And you also have the information here. So you might want to print out some of those. So those are great to print out. Now, you can also go into our system under forms, and all of our forms are here. There's just some other order forms. So everything I just showed you is here, but there's some other forms too. So the follow-up clipboard might be the easiest way to print those off for you. Now, you could also go over here under Evolve Tools, and you could go to the business bag. And you could order 2 business bags that have that exact same material for your office in smaller forms. So those are the same forms, but they're just small. And so there's your envelope, and there's your what to expect, your order form, your all products flyer, and your before and after tracker. Jan makes a label for you. They're $12. And you can email janjrand@gmail.com with your name and your address and your phone number. She'll make labels, and she'll send you your own business bags, so you have your office set up. And I use that a lot. Let me show you what I mean by that. I mean, they're just all made for you. And I actually have a follow-up clipboard, and I have, excuse me, and I have these documents all ready to go. So I do both. And so what do I mean by these documents? Well, I always read the envelope to people because that's how X39 works. 12 hours on and 12 hours off. X39 is made out of organic amino acid crystals that activate your stem cells, produce more stem cells, and reset them to a younger, healthier state. I'm reading. There's the Now site you can take people to and where they could place it. From there, I'll go and look at the pictures. I'll tell picture stories. Where's your pain at? You're at an 8, mark it, and then figure out where it is. Actually, when they leave your office, you can ask again. If you patch the spot with a lot 2 ice waves, their pain will be down to a 2 before they leave the office. I'm just saying it happens. Then you could say with the X39, you can expect to reset 4,000 genes. And let's see what the best pack is for you. And let's take your order. So I like these because now I can just, every client can have an educational packet. And I do educational seminars or patching parties. I just did one for Dr. Dini. I do one every month in LA. And we just put one of these on everybody's chair. And every client has an experience. We go through the presentation. They get an X39 and an Eon right below the back of the neck. And anybody with a lot of pain, we pop the spot with a lot, which is 2 sets of ice wave. By the end of the seminar, everybody's taking the orders. And so that's really how it works. And then what you can do if you're feeling like, well, I took an order, I can't get a hold of Jan, I really don't know what to do. That's okay. You can go back to the system and you can just go down to input the order. You took the order. Hey, there's that form again. Now you can go ahead and input the order, and there's directions on how to do it. You can also call Jan Rand and she can help you, or you can also, let's see where that is. I've redone the system and I'm training on it still, and I'm already seeing things I want to fix for better teaching. But you can also go over to tools and you can call customer service and they can help you as well. So with that, I hope you enjoyed your practitioner call. We talked about the technology, we told stories, and we showed you how you could set your office up to get it to your clients. So get with the person that brought you here. Make sure you pick the pack you want for your office. You can see now you can order the tools to set up your office. If you go to the marketing tools section, you can also get these types of pieces in large. We have this in big poster boards too. I like to say we make things in small, medium, and large. So you can see you might want a big board for your office, or you might want it to do a educational seminar. What I'm really finding after COVID is people want to touch each other again. So really think about having an educational seminar, a patching party, a free class. They're all the same thing, just different names, where people are coming together and having an experience, and we patch people and we explain the technology, and then people with pain, we patch with a lot, and pretty much everybody wants the technology after the seminar. So if you're a practitioner, set up a free class in your clinic. Trust me when I say you'll help a lot of people if you do that. With that, lots of love to you. We'll see you next Thursday at our practitioner call, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.